heard my parents call me bad energy, I should have walked away. But I stayed, long enough to see them blame me for my niece's scraped knee and throw me out like I was a curse. That was the Thanksgiving I was told to give them space. So I did, but not in the way they expected. I built my own table on a mountain in Colorado. And what happened next shook my entire family to the core. If you've ever been the forgotten child, the one who held everything together but got none of the credit, this story is for you. If this story hits close to home, or if you've ever felt like the outsider in your own family, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more powerful true life stories. Your support helps us keep sharing voices that deserve to be heard. Let's heal, grow, and rise together. I was holding a basket of hand-wrapped gifts and a bottle of wine when I heard my name being torn apart inside the house I used to call home. "Ella's coming again?" My mother's voice floated through the cracked window like a blade wrapped in lace. "I just don't want her energy this year. She always brings that air, like she's above everything. She thinks that fancy job makes her better than everyone," my father replied. "But all I see is a woman in her 30s with no husband, no kids, and a chip on her shoulder." I froze on the porch, breath caught in my throat. The late autumn air had been brisk before. Now it felt like it could burn through bone. I looked down at the basket I had spent hours putting together. Cranberry preserves I had made myself, sustainable toys for my niece and nephew, organic wine I'd had shipped from a vineyard in Oregon. My hands started to shake. "She always turns everything into a moment about her," my mom continued. "It just puts pressure on Avery. I wish Ella would understand. We need space this year, some peace." "You're right," Dad muttered. "She's like a storm cloud that shows up with a smile." Storm cloud. I bit down hard on the inside of my cheek. Maybe I should have turned around and walked away right then, but some small, stubborn part of me still wanted to believe I belonged here. I reached for the doorknob. Before I could touch it, the front door flung open and Lily, my 6-year-old niece, bolted out in her socks, chasing something. A balloon, maybe? Or her little brother? I gasped and stepped back, trying to avoid her, but our bodies collided. Time slowed. Her tiny feet tangled with my own. She tripped, spun sideways, and fell, hard, face first, onto the brick walkway. The thud was sickening. "Lily?" Avery's voice was a high-pitched shriek as she rushed out the door. Blood on Lily's cheek. A scrape, probably nothing deep, but enough to look dramatic on a child's pale skin. "She pushed her!" Avery screamed, eyes wild. "You pushed my daughter!" No, I didn't. She ran out, and you were just standing there," she snapped, scooping Lily into her arms. "You've been here 5 seconds, Ella, and you've already hurt someone." I blinked, my body hot and cold all at once. "Jesus," my dad growled, stepping out. "Is this how every holiday has to start now?" My mom followed, her face twisted with quiet fury. "This is exactly what we were trying to avoid." "What?" I stammered. "I brought gifts. I was trying to surprise everyone. I didn't mean." "You never mean to," Mom cut me off, her voice like ice. "But somehow you always do." "Mom, come on." "No, Ella, just go," she said firmly. "We need peace this year. Please don't ruin it." "Ruin it?" I looked down at Lily's small, crying face, then up at my mother's. That's when she said it. "Maybe you don't realize it, but you bring bad energy into this house. It's been that way for years. You walk in and everything feels heavier." My mouth opened, but I couldn't speak. My father didn't say a word. He just stepped back into the house, letting the screen door creak shut between us like a wall. I stood on the porch like a stranger who'd wandered onto the wrong property. The basket slid from my hand and hit the concrete with a dull thud. The wine cracked against the bricks. Crimson seeped into the cold, gray ground. And then I turned. I didn't run. I didn't cry. I just walked back to my car, my boots crunching through the dead leaves. My breath came in shallow puffs. I sat behind the wheel, my fingers trembling against the ignition. My reflection stared back at me in the rearview mirror. Wide eyes, clenched jaw, that same old question echoing through my mind. What did I do wrong this time? But the truth, for once, was sharp and undeniable. Nothing. I had done nothing wrong, and they had made it crystal clear. I wasn't welcome, not just this Thanksgiving, maybe not ever. So that night, after the shock wore off and the numbness faded, I did something I had never done before. I stopped trying to earn a seat at their table. I started planning how to build my own, and I had just the place to do it. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling as my phone screen dimmed beside me. 0 messages, 0 calls from anyone asking if I was okay. No one followed up after I left the house. Not Avery, not my parents, not even to check if the wine bottle that shattered at my feet had cut me. No one cared. They had said I brought bad energy, like I was a thunderstorm rolling in from the mountains. Fine, if I was the storm, I was about to become the whole damn weather system. That morning, I made a pot of coffee so strong it could have chewed through steel, and I pulled out the leather-bound notebook I hadn't touched since last spring, the one I used to map out my dreams. Tucked inside was a sketch of a place I had spent years quietly planning, saving, hoping for, the Young Reclamation Farm. Nestled in the highlands of Colorado, 20 acres of crisp pine, frost-laced hills, and a timber-framed house I had bought without a single soul in my family knowing. It wasn't just a house. It was my sanctuary, my legacy. And for the first time in my life, it wasn't going to be a secret anymore. I picked up my phone and dialed the first person on my list. "Aunt June," I said, my voice already shaking from equal parts adrenaline and exhaustion. "You got a minute?" "Oh, Ella, I was just thinking about you, honey." "What's going on?" I didn't explain everything. I didn't need to. She had been the only one in the family who ever saw me, who knew the dynamic, the favoritism, the years of quiet disappointment. "They told me not to come this year," I said flatly. A long silence. Then, "Those two have their heads so far up their own guilt, they can't see daylight." I laughed, more bitter than amused. "I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year, Aunt June, at my place in Colorado, the house I bought last May." Another silence, but this one felt full of pride. "You bought land?" "I bought home," I said, "and I'd love for you to come." "My dear girl," she whispered, voice thick with emotion, "you tell me the date and time, and I'll be there with cranberry sauce and bourbon in hand." Her words were oxygen. Next up, Nate and Claire, my cousins, my chosen siblings, the people who had always supported me in the background while our family circus gave all the stage lights to Avery. I called Claire first. She picked up on the second ring. "I swear, if this is you telling me you're getting married before me, I'm hanging up." I laughed. "Not quite, but it is an invitation." "To?" Thanksgiving, my place, Colorado. I have land now, a house, a massive kitchen, hiking trails, and no emotional landmines. There was a pause, then, dead serious, you had me at no emotional landmines. I'm in. Nate called me back 3 minutes later. I just got off the phone with Claire. Please tell me this is real. It's real. Do I need to bring anything? Just yourself. And maybe your guitar? You're a damn legend, Ella, he said. Booking flights right now. As each call ended with another yes, another burst of warmth spread through my chest. I wasn't building a rebellion, I was building a rescue. By mid-afternoon, I had a dozen confirmed guests. Aunt June, Nate, Claire, Uncle Terrence and his husband Marcus, my college roommate Janine and her partner Theo, people who chose me, not out of obligation, but out of love. I opened my laptop and began planning with furious joy shopping lists. Guest rooms, menus that mixed Southern comfort with rustic mountain cuisine. Instead of a turkey from the store, I'd call the local farmer I'd met at the fall harvest market. Instead of boxed stuffing, I'd bake bread from scratch using herbs from my greenhouse. Instead of dodging emotional jabs under my mother's side eyes, I'd serve wine around a table where no one had to earn their seat. Halfway through the seating chart, I paused. I scrolled to Avery's number. My finger hovered over it. I didn't owe her anything. Not after what she'd screamed at me, not after the look she gave me like I had shattered her child on purpose. But then I remembered Lily and Max. The way they used to run to me when they were younger. Before they learned how the family pecking order worked, I didn't call her. I didn't reach out, but I left 2 empty seats at the table, just in case. That night, I stood outside on my apartment balcony, the chill biting through my sweater. Below, Portland buzzed with its usual humpbikes whirring, light rail screeching, someone playing jazz from a window. But I was somewhere else already, mentally halfway to Colorado, to pine needles underfoot, smoke curling from a chimney, and a table filled with people who actually saw me. This wouldn't be revenge. This would be resurrection. I poured myself a glass of wine, the backup bottle I hadn't brought to my parents' house, and toasted to something I never thought I'd give myself permission to feel. Freedom. Let them have their peace. I was about to build joy. 3 days before Thanksgiving, I was kneeling in the frosted dirt, planting rosemary beside the farmhouse steps, when my phone buzzed in my jacket pocket. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me swipe. Ella? A hesitant voice said. It took me a second to place it. Brad, Avery's husband. I stood slowly, brushing soil from my glove. Yeah? There was a long pause on the other end. Then, I heard. You're not coming for Thanksgiving. I smiled bitterly at the phrasing. That's correct, I said. I was told not to. He exhaled sharply. Ella, listen. I know things got weird. Avery doesn't know I'm calling you, but I had to. Your parents told us you were skipping this year, said it was your choice. Of course they did. They said they wanted space, I replied calmly, so I gave it to them, miles of it. Another silence. And then, carefully, I also heard you're hosting something in Colorado. I didn't answer immediately. They're spiraling, he added quickly. Your mom's been calling every day, asking what Avery's wearing, what the kids should bring. It's like she's planning Thanksgiving for a queen. But Avery and I, he hesitated. We had a fight, a big one. Your parents promised to help with Lily's school tuition again, but now they're backing out, talking about setting boundaries. Sound familiar? I felt something flicker. A strange, cold recognition. Yes, I said flatly. It does. I don't want to get in the middle, he added, but I had to ask, would there be room for us, for the kids? A direct hit. I sat down on the farmhouse step, heart pounding. I had prepared for menus, seating charts, weather emergencies, but not this. Brad and I had never been close, but he wasn't cruel, and the kids, they were kids. Innocent, sweet, and still too young to understand how family fractures. My gut twisted, but the idea of Avery walking into my space, my sanctuary, like nothing had happened, made my skin crawl. So I stalled. I'll think about it, I said honestly. There's room, physically, but I need to be sure there's room emotionally. I understand, Brad replied, quieter now. Whatever you decide, thanks for even considering it. We hung up, but peace didn't return. I sat there as the cold seeped through the fabric of my jeans, staring out over the hills that surrounded my land. The pine trees swayed gently in the wind. This was my place, untouched, untainted, a home I had built from bruises. And now, the very people who had tossed me out like an unwanted guest wanted in. That night, I called Dr. Warner. Emergency session. I didn't even let her finish her greeting before the words poured out. They want to come, I said. Brad and Avery, to my Thanksgiving. She was quiet, letting the sentence sit. How does that make you feel? She finally asked. Like I'm inviting in the storm, I snapped. Like I'm throwing open the door to the same pain I just escaped. But what are you afraid will happen? I didn't answer right away. I shall show up and become the star again, I said finally. That I'll fade into the background. In my own damn house. There was another pause. Then Dr. Warner asked the question that stopped me cold. Who put her at the center all those years? Ella. Oh, I swallowed. Your parents did, she said gently, but they won't be there this time. You will. This is your home, your table. You get to decide where people sit, literally and emotionally. I closed my eyes and pictured it. Avery in my kitchen, complimenting the pie like she had baked it herself. My mother's voice whispering in the back of my skull. Let her shine. She needs it more. But this wasn't that kitchen. This wasn't their holiday. And I wasn't a shadow anymore. The next morning, I called Brad. You're welcome to come, I said, but I need you to understand something. Anything, he said quickly. This is my space, my rhythm, my rules. If Avery can't respect that, she shouldn't come. There was a long pause. Then she knows. I told her everything. And she wants to come, Ella. Not to take over. To make something right. Make something right? The words echoed in my chest like distant thunder. I didn't know if I believed them, but I realized I didn't need to. I wasn't giving her power. I was giving myself a choice. After the call, I sat in the field behind the house, watching mist roll over the hills. The sun broke through a cloud bank like a promise. Let them come. Let the past see what I've built. Let them witness the life I've made, not in spite of them, but without them. Thanksgiving morning broke like a hymn over the Colorado hills. Frost clung to the tall grass like tiny crystals, and the chimney smoke from the farmhouse curled lazily into the pale blue sky. My house, smelled of rosemary, roasted garlic, and the warmth of everything I'd never felt at my parents' table. Inside, laughter echoed down the halls. Claire was in the kitchen, fussing over her sweet potato casserole. Nate tuned his guitar near the fireplace, while Aunt June walked around with a glass of spiced cider, humming along to a jazz playlist I had curated just for today. It was everything I had imagined and more. At 2:00 p.m., the first crunch of tires on gravel snapped me out of my reverie. I turned toward the window and saw it, Brad's SUV, slowly making its way up the driveway. Dust rose behind it, golden in the afternoon sun. My chest tightened. They came. I stepped onto the porch just as the engine cut. Brad climbed out first. His expression was apologetic, careful. The kids followed, Max holding Lily's hand like a little protector. Then came Avery. She stepped out slowly, eyes scanning the farmhouse, the pine trees, the mountains wrapped in light. She looked smaller somehow, like someone who just realized they were no longer the center of the universe. "Ella," Brad said softly, "thanks for having us." I nodded. Max and Lily ran toward me. "Aunt Ella!" They squealed in unison, launching themselves into my arms. My throat tightened as I hugged them both. They still loved me. They weren't poisoned by adult bitterness. Avery approached, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's beautiful here," she said, avoiding eye contact. "Thank you," I replied flatly. "Come inside." I didn't offer hugs. I didn't perform grace. I led them through the front door like a hostess, not a sister, because that's what boundaries look like when they're freshly built. Sharp and necessary. The house welcomed them with light and laughter and the sound of people who chose to be there. Marcus handed Brad a glass of wine. Aunt June immediately took the kids to show them the napkin folding station. She'd set up with Claire, and for once, no one asked Avery where she wanted to sit. No one centered her. For the first time in her life, Avery blended in. Dinner was set for 3:00. A long farmhouse table, stretched across the dining room, draped in soft linen and dotted with candles, pine cones, and hand-lettered place cards. The kind of table we all deserved, one built with intention, not expectation. Everyone took their seats. I stood at the head, wine glass in hand, heart thundering beneath my ribs. "Before we eat," I began, voice steady despite the pressure behind my eyes, "I just want to say thank you." Forks paused, eyes turned to me. This isn't just a meal. This is a reclamation. For years, I've tried to squeeze myself into a family dynamic that made me feel invisible. This year, I stopped trying. A breath, a beat, and in doing so, I found something better. This, I motioned around the table, this is family. Not by blood, but by choice. Aunt June raised her glass first. "To Ella," she said, eyes glassy, "for building something sacred." Everyone toasted, except Avery. She sat still, hands folded, lips pursed, but I noticed her eyes. They were red-rimmed, and when Max leaned over to show her the handmade place card with her name spelled in pine needle calligraphy, her fingers trembled. After dinner, as the sun dipped behind the hills, the last of the pie disappeared. My phone buzzed. "Mom?" I froze. Then, almost in sync, phones around the room began to light up. Claire frowned. "Why is your mom texting me?" Nate looked at his screen. "Same here." I picked up my phone. "Where is everyone? Why isn't Avery answering? Are you with Ella? What is going on?" It was happening. The realization was hitting them that for the first time in decades, the center had shifted, and they weren't in it. "Should we tell them?" Claire asked softly. I looked across the table at laughter and candlelight and love that didn't come with terms and conditions. No, I said. Not yet. The moment was too pure to waste on guilt. But Avery stood suddenly. I'll do it, she said quietly. I'll call her. Everyone fell silent. She stepped into the living room, put the phone on speaker, and dialed. Melanie? My mom's voice snapped through the line. Where are you? We've been waiting for hours. We're at Ella's, Avery replied calmly. In Colorado. A beat of silence. You what? At Ella's farmhouse, Avery repeated. We're all here, everyone. The cousins, Aunt June, the kids. But we told Ella not to come. And she listened, Avery said. But you didn't say anything to the rest of us. Then she looked at me, and for the first time in our lives, she didn't look away. Honestly, Mom, it's the best Thanksgiving we've ever had. Click, the line went dead. Avery turned to me, breath shallow. I shouldn't have let it go this far. I should have stood up for you a long time ago. I stared at her. Why didn't you? Because I liked being the favorite, she said. But it didn't feel good anymore. She paused. Not after seeing all this, seeing you. I didn't know what to say, but the ache in my chest loosened just enough to let her back in. Not all the way, not yet, but maybe, one day. The morning after Thanksgiving, the farmhouse was quiet. The kind of quiet that only follows a storm. Not of chaos, but of emotional release. I stood alone on the back porch, cradling a mug of coffee, watching the mist roll over the vineyard rows I hadn't touched yet. A golden light stretched across the mountains, warm and still, as if the earth itself was exhaling. Inside, I could hear faint laughter. Someone was making pancakes. The smell of vanilla and cinnamon drifted through the cracks in the old wooden walls. It felt like peace, not the forced kind my mother used to demand, the kind that comes from silence, secrets, and swallowing pain. No, this was the kind of peace you earn, the kind you bleed for. I hadn't expected Avery's confession the night before, and I definitely hadn't expected what came next. After the call with my mother cut off, Avery stood awkwardly in the doorway. She looked so much like the little sister I remembered. Not the one who used to bask in the spotlight, but the one who used to sneak into my room during storms, curled up beside me, whispering she was scared of the thunder. I'm sorry, she said again, voice quiet. For the years I kept quiet. For the moments I let them put you down and said nothing. I studied her. This woman who had always been praised for simply showing up while I broke myself to be seen. I'm not asking you to fix it, I said. I just want to stop pretending it didn't happen. She nodded, eyes welling up. Can we try again? I didn't say yes, but I didn't say no. Sometimes healing doesn't come with fireworks. Sometimes it just starts with a crack in the wall. By Sunday, the last of the family had packed up, hugging me like they meant it, not out of obligation, not for show, but because something real had grown between us over those 3 days, something deeper than tradition. When the final car pulled away, I walked back inside the empty house and sat at the long wooden table, now cleared of plates and pie crumbs. I ran my fingers along its edge, the one Claire had nicked with a carving knife, the corner where Max had spilled cider. It was perfect because it was mine. I had spent so many years begging for a place at someone else's table. All it took was one rejection, one brutal exile, for me to realize I didn't need their table. I could build my own, and I did, from ashes. From silence, from the grief of never being enough. And it turns out I was more than enough all along. They just never had the eyes to see it. The following week, I got a letter in the mail, handwritten, from my mother. We didn't realize what we were doing. Maybe we didn't want to. But after hearing Avery and seeing those photos online, we see it now. Or we're trying to. We hope it's not too late to be invited to your table next year. There was no manipulation, no excuses, just uncertainty, humility. That alone nearly undid me. I folded the letter, tucked it in the back of my journal. Maybe one day I'd answer. Maybe I'd leave the door open, not wide, but enough for truth to slip through. But right now I was sitting at a table I built with my own 2 hands, surrounded by people who chose me, seen, loved, whole, and that was everything I never knew I needed.